Good afternoon, delegates, advisors, and visitors. Thank you all for joining us on this cold December day and choosing to spend your Saturday discussing and formulating solutions to pressing global issues with your peers in the Upper Mohawk Valley. By having done so, you chose to embody our 2019 mantra, Act Local, Change Global.
We think here in Utica, New York that, we're just a small town in upstate New York. We don't do much globally, or we can't contribute globally. But really, every little thing we do kind of has this huge chain effect to the highest level, to the United Nations, to the international community. So I think it's very important that we tell students who come to our conference that everything you do does matter. Everything you do here today does matter. Everything you do tomorrow in school and afterwards in college, whatever you do in the future will impact the world in some way.
The whole concept of Act Local, Change Global is that even though the actions we take within our community might seem small or might seem like they don't have a huge impact, that is what makes the world go round and what changes things.
I think it's quite important to think on a global scale. Even though we all might not be able to do something on a global scale, I think that especially as American citizens, we have such a powerful voice in our country that even doing something locally, like helping a local refugee center or any other organization that's doing good for the people, is a good way to make a national impression and to show the world that we want change and that we're willing to do whatever it takes to get that change.
In Model UN, we get to work with people of all sorts. Not only are they of different backgrounds and have their own stories, but they also, because they're assigned to a certain country that I may not be familiar with, they can inform me on those types of issues, their perspectives on things, and really just bring in ideas from every type of perspective, country, background, everything. And that's something that's very unique to Model UN.
Before being involved as a chair at this year's conference, I mostly learned how to collaborate with other people in Model UN and how to work on my public speaking. I'm learning how to not only work with other people that have different interests that are also conference leaders, but to lead people and to maintain structure within our committee, which is a skill that also translates to different things outside of Model UN.
My favorite part about UMVMUN has just been the amazing experience of getting to work with people who are so dedicated to the conference and dedicated to Model UN, especially our chairs. They've been working for months to make sure that today was as good as it can be, and I think they've done a really excellent job of that. And I think the fact that we are so different means that we are constantly working to make sure that even though we may not agree on something, we know that we need to work for what's best for the conference, and I feel like we all grow a lot that way. Rather than just being surrounded by people who agree with you all the time, we discuss and we debate and we figure out the best things we can do.
I like seeing everyone else's opinions, which are often quite different than mine, because when you surround yourself with like-minded people, being your friends or family, you don't really get to see the other side as often. So getting to work with the people around me, I can hear their ideas, build on my ideas with theirs, and go from there.
And I think that's really representative of the world that we live in, because everyone has different priorities, different passions, different things that interest them. And you can't always expect other people to be on the same exact page as you. However, you can have the goodwill to put what you have forward and to ask others to put what they have forward and see how you can bring it together.
When I first joined Model UN, I was really not too good at public speaking, and I wasn't that confident in myself. But through the years and through attending numerous Model UN conferences, and especially through my experience as a conference leader at the UMVMUN conferences, I've learned how to better present myself, my ideas, and have become a more confident speaker. And I'm sure that that will be invaluable to me as I enter my college career and beyond.
UMV has really taught me a lot about the fact that I do have the potential to do a lot of things. I was really scared of being a chair and I thought I couldn't do it, but then I did. And I think it's just kind of shown me that I can keep growing and I can do things that are scary and do them well.
It has widened my perspective so much. Instead of being in an isolated type of mindset, it's broadened it for me to know issues of countries such as Cote d'Ivoire and Sierra Leone and countries that aren't brought up in the United States society. So it has really broadened my perspectives and allowed me to consider ideas that are out of the box more.
Take a moment to look around this room. There is one thing that every delegate and conference leader here has in common. We are all high school students. We are not yet diplomats, world leaders, or trailblazers in our respective fields. We are, however, well on our way to greatness, no matter how greatness is defined for you.